All right, back for another episode of Top Chef All Stars LA. This one started with an interesting quickfire. I've really enjoyed the quickfires this season. A lot of seasons I don't get too into them. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's a little 20-minute challenge. Like, let's just move on to the main event. But I've really been enjoying them in this season, and today's challenge was using non-traditional flours to create a dish. And there was a huge array of flowers, lots that I'd never even heard of or seen before. And it was interesting just to see the chefs really go for it. And I really like these quick fires because it's a chance to really take risks. It's not something where, if you make a big mistake, oh well, it was the quick fire, it's done. But if you take that big risk, it pays off. You could win, and in a lot of cases get immunity. Today, no immunity on the line, just $5,000. And our winner of the quickfire was Gregory. He's been one of the top chefs all season long, and this one really seemed like right in his wheelhouse. He said he cooks gluten. He is gluten free, and he made this just simple pancakes, gluten free pancakes with some blueberries, and just the judges just loved it. And I think he had a little bit of nuts mixed in there, and really just blew everybody out of the water. On the bottom end, we had our two Bryans, and really their critique was you just didn't use enough of the flour. It seemed like everyone made a pretty good dish. As we narrow things down, especially with this being a season of all stars, we start to see the level of competition really elevate. And it's the simple things like missing a part of your instructions, having a specific set of instructions and not focusing enough on what you've been asked to do is what sends you home over people putting out a bad dish. So our two Bryans, they got criticized a little bit, not enough of the flour. The Brian Malarkey totally screwed up on his flour component and then just kind of winged it for the rest. And Brian V, he just really didn't focus on the flour. He just kind of put it as an afterthought, and that put him on the bottom. All right, let's move on to our elimination challenge. As soon as I realized what was going on here, I was not happy. So this was a double elimination today. And how it worked was each chef drew a flavor, bitter, sweet, sour, salty, or umami, and had to pair up with another chef who had a different flavor profile. And the bottom team would get eliminated. And see, I don't really like this because, we are a good ways into the competition now. We're starting to have some people separate from the pack. We're starting to see some favorites rise to the top. And then all of a sudden we see all of our top chefs. And to me, the people who were at the top really were Melissa, Nini, Gregory, and Eric. I feel like they've been really at the top of every challenge we've done. Melissa's just been fantastic all season long. Gregory and Nini really haven't missed a step all season, and Eric is just someone that the judges, you can tell they look forward to eating his food. And then we see all of them go into separate pairs, and as soon as I saw that, I thought, uh-oh, one of our favorites is about to get eliminated and get sent to Last Chance Kitchen. The last pair that didn't have one of those four on it was Leanne and Brian Malarkey. All eyes were on them. I think that they were doomed to be the bottom team today, but that is not what happened. And I thought this was very interesting because we saw all our pairs form, and you could just tell like every other chef was just steering clear of Leanne and Brian Malarkey. And then you just see them standing beside each other, and it's just like, well, I guess we are a pair. And we have seen them butt heads. We saw Brian Malarkey throw Leanne under the bus at in front of the judges, and it was just like, this is going to be a disaster. They head to the grocery store, like they're immediately arguing and butting heads, and it's just like, oh no, this is going to be a disaster. Then we get into the kitchen and things kind of cool off between them. Really the whole point that they're trying to get across to each other is, we can't make the mistakes that we've been making in the past. And Leanne just kept saying, edit, 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 edit. And next thing you know, they put out one of the best dishes of the day, and the judges said that they were right there to be the winners of our challenge today. And overall, all of our teams created great dishes, and what ended up separating the top from the bottom was how well the teams showcased those flavor profiles. So in the end, like I said, Leanne and Brian, they're right there, right close. They end up finishing second behind Melissa and Kevin. And, Kevin, we've seen all season long, he's either at the top or at the bottom. And today he's paired up with Melissa, who's always at the top. And there they are, they win. Our two teams that end up being on the bottom are Nini and Karen, and Eric and Brian V, which was pretty interesting because, like I said, I think Nini and Eric have been two of the best chefs all season long, and then they're standing up there, and one of them's about to go get sent home. Like, how crazy is that? They will get a chance in Last Chance Kitchen, but that's just a brutal way to go. In the end, it comes down to Karen and Nini adding a third flavor profile of sweet into their, I believe they had sour umami dish, and that is enough to get them sent packing. And our judges all said, it's hard when everyone makes a great dish and still someone's got to go home. So let's get into Last Chance Kitchen. So I was a little behind last week. We saw Jen get kicked off. Oh, by the way, there will be some spoilers, including who's coming back to the show in my Last Chance Kitchen catch-up. So we saw Jen get kicked off. Lisa was the reigning champ. So Lisa and Jen face off. Honestly, I don't really remember. It was a sauce-off of some sort that they had to do. And Lisa continues her reign. She wins again. And she goes to face off against both Karen and Nini at the same time. This was a 2-part challenge. First, the 3 of them faced off in this, I believe they did sweet and sour. Sweet and sour, kind of replicating what sent them home. Cook off, and the top 2 would then go to face off against each other, and Nini and Karen end up being our top 2 to go face off and the winner getting to return to the show. So this one was a big family style meal. The chefs were allowed to cook as many dishes as they wanted for everyone who was part of Last Chance Kitchen. And really, this one must have been super close. It sounded like they loved pretty much everything that was put on display. Nini did have major issues. She burnt a huge portion of her meal. She ends up salvaging it, but wasn't quite enough. And Karen gets kicked off and comes right back into the show. The good news for Nini is her journey isn't over. She is still in Last Chance Kitchen, so she will have a chance to fight her way back, but who knows how many chefs she's going to have to work her way through before she gets here. All right, we are all caught up. Thank you so much for watching, and